Hello, welcome back to Beauty and Bee Movies with me, Pale Kale. Otherwise known as Kayla. I don't think I ever say that my name is Kayla in these, but that's my name if you don't know. It's actually Kayla. Siblings call me Kale, K-A-Y-L, like short for Kayla, not the vegetable. Anyway, hi. I felt like I needed to explain that because I never have gone into that, I don't think, into the lore of why I share a name with a gross green vegetable. Welcome back to my channel, Beauty and Bee Movies with me, Pale Kale. This is where we jump in and dissect classic movies that maybe you've never heard of. Classic is actually a strong word. I'm gonna walk that back a little bit. Some low budget movies that you may not have heard of or may have forgotten about. Most of them are gonna be from the 1980s, like the one today, which is Night of the Comet, a 1984 sci-fi comedy horror, a movie about sisterly love, zombies, post-apocalyptic times, evil scientists, and best of all, the 1980s. Without further ado, let's get into Night of the Comet. I hate doing these videos without nails on, and I just realized that I didn't have them on, so that's fun. So right away, we learn two very important things in this movie. Number one, there is a huge event happening that everybody's super stoked about. Basically, the Earth is moving through like the tail of a comet, which hasn't happened in like a bajillion years or some, mumbo jumbo. So everybody's really stoked for it. They're expecting it to be kind of a big deal. So that's like the main focus of the movie. And then number two, Kelly Maroney is in this. Remember Allison from Shopping Mall with her Wisco mom haircut? She is in this film, and I actually think she does, spoiler alert, but I think she does better in this movie than she did in Shopping Mall. She did a good job in Shopping Mall too, it's just, Shopping Mall. So before we get to meet Allison's character in this movie, we meet Regina, who has the actual hair of my dreams, except maybe for, what was her name? Jennifer from Intruder, remember her? So many callbacks, I know, but she might, I don't know, they both have incredible, beautiful heads of hair, and I'm super jealous. Regina over here is at work. Her boss is kind of wanting her to clean up and, do her job. Rude. But she's busy, same day, different shit, playing video games at work. How you do? We get a little bit of insight into her job here. She works at a movie theater, which, been there, done that. I just want to get my base laid down. I almost feel like I should do that before I even hit record, because it's hard to talk around me blending out foundation, but. That looks nice, babe. Regina over here lets her boss know exactly what she thinks about working at the movie theater.
Aw, Mel, they throw things at me. Have you ever been hit with dots, Mel? Milk duds? Those things hurt.
Same girl. Been there. She goes to add her name back in at the scoreboard and on the little video game that she's playing. I never really figured out which video game it is. I don't think it matters, but she's obsessed with this video game. And she goes to put her initials on the scoreboard, and much to her surprise, someone has dared take the number 6 spot for themselves. The absolute nerve of this guy, DMK. We don't yet learn what DMK stands for. Obviously, I assumed it stood for Donkey Michael Kong. Regina over here, or I'm gonna call her Reggie actually, because I think she mostly goes by Reggie or Reg in the movie. She decides she's gonna stay inside, even though the whole comet sighting is happening outside. Everybody's like super stoked about it, wants to go outside and see it happen. She decides she's gonna stay in for the evening. When I say stay in, I mean like stay in the movie theater, in the projection room. I guess it's like a steel-lined projection room at the movie theater with her little boy toy over here. His name's Larry. He's a real gentleman.
Do you know what that makes me look like?
Reggie, I'm not giving you $15 for making it with me. I mean, you'd be worth a lot more than $15. Everybody knows that.
What can I say, ladies? Chivalry is alive and well. Larry over here obviously is kind of the worst, but for some reason she wants to stay the night with him in the theater. I guess they want to, bump uglies, and he wants to rent out some movie to someone, and he has to like stay at the theater to wait for them to bring it back in the morning. It's boring, but it is actually kind of important that they are staying in the theater overnight. That's why I'm talking about it so much. So this is the point where we meet Reggie's little sister, Sam, who is Allison from Shopping Mall. Coming full circle here, we got Kelly Maroney back in action, and she plays a ditzy, kind of dumb Valley girl very well. She does an excellent job at it. We meet Sam over here. She's wearing her mustard and ketchup realness. Just a really nice little ensemble. But anytime I see yellow and red, it's gonna be Ronald McDonald for me. We kind of get a little bit of insight into Reggie and Sam's home life when we meet Doris, their stepmom, who is straight up just physically abusive.
You're born with an asshole, Doris. You don't need Chuck.
Not really necessary, Doris. I think that was crossing the line a little bit. I don't think you deserve to have the same name as Doris from Shrek. So yeah, Doris is kind of a piece of shit, and it's implied that she's cheating on their dad too, because I guess their dad is in the military, and that's why they have to live with Doris. Their stepmom, I guess their mom left too. I don't know. There's a whole backstory with it that like literally does not matter at all. So I'm just gonna skate right on over that, because past me would tell you like every little detail, but I'm trying to be more mindful and more present. So while Reggie gets that pipe blade on her, and Sam crashes outside in the steel-lined shed because she wants Doris to think she ran away, you know, she's being a teenager. We see some really great special effects of the comet flashing across the sky. And then we cut to the next morning. Things look a little different. The next day, the sky is filled with a bright red haze, and everyone seems to have vanished, leaving nothing behind but piles of clothes and a red dust that's just all over the place. So basically, the comet wiped everyone out, literally turned them into dust. I was a little hung up on this because I'm not really sure why the dust would be red. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just confused as to why it was red. Is it like, I don't want to say anything super dumb, so I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm confused as to why the dust was red, but for some reason, everyone has been reduced to piles of red dust. Everyone that was exposed to the comet. Because remember, everybody was freaking out and like, we're going to go outside and like look at the comet. It was a huge deal. Everybody was really excited about it. They shouldn't have been, you know, because now they're dust. It's probably some kind of scientific thing over my head anyways. I mean, I didn't even take basic chemistry in high school. Let me know if you understand the whole reason why the dust is red. Maybe I'm just a fucking idiot. I don't know, like, elements and shit like that, really. Like compounds and science words. I can't even think of the right words for things because I am not a science person, if you can tell. But yeah, so everybody's gone. Bye. Reggie wakes up in the projection room the next day, remember, because her and Larry like kind of stayed the night in the projection room. Wink, wink. I can't wink. I don't know why I tried to do that. Wink, wink. I'm just gonna do that because I can't wink. Wink, nudge, whatever, same thing. They stayed the night in the projection room. They hooked up. Of course, because Larry's such a gentleman, remember? He decides to dip out immediately and go hunt down the guy who has that film that he rented to him. He hasn't brought it back yet because he's probably, you know, not living anymore. So they don't know what's going on. They've been in the projection room smashing all night. So he decides to leave, and of course, you know, Larry's just super charming.
I'm gonna go over there on the bike.
Oh, geez, don't I get an egg McMuffin or anything?
Reggie decides to stick around in the theater. She doesn't really go outside yet. She's still pissed about DMK, or, you know, as I affectionately have dubbed him, Donkey Michael Kong, taking her spot. So she's decided she's gonna go play her little video game. She's gonna get the sixth highest spot. She has all the other high scores. I don't get why whatever, I guess. You know, it's 1984. There's not that much to do. So she's still kind of pissed about that. She's going to go take her spot back. Oh my God, holy shit. Her hair even looks good in the morning. Like, what is with that? Unfortunately for our boy Larry over here, you know, Mr. Prince Charming, he gets attacked immediately. Like, as soon as he opens the door to go outside and get his little film reel or whatever, he gets attacked by a fucking zombie. I didn't realize this was gonna be a zombie movie, but all right. It's not my number one favorite, as you can probably surmise. I'm more of a slasher kind of gal, but I was down. Something different. Change is good. Coming from an earth sign, that's, yeah, I don't know how true that is. Anyway, he gets attacked by this zombie, and my only explanation for this was, I guess not everybody who was exposed to the comet turns into red dust. Some of them turn into zombies for some reason. And the reason why Reggie, Larry, the, you know, little boy toy, and Sam, Reggie's little sister, the reason that they have not been turned into dust or zombies is because they were inside steel-lined rooms at the time of the comet passing, and apparently the steel protected them. I don't know. Again, chemistry, I don't fucking know her. Like, we've never met. I guess they're protected because they spent the night in steel-lined rooms. Isn't that convenient? But what I do know is they're normal. All the other people out there, zombies or a pile. a people pile. Reggie's back to playing her little video games because the girl is obsessed. It doesn't look like that fun of a game, but hey, whatever, diva. Poor donkey Michael Kong, she finally takes him right off the scoreboard. I am gonna start doing my brows. I'm just gonna, much like Nike, I'm just gonna do it. Okay, I'm back and I have one brow on. Okay, so anyway, Reggie, she gets bored of her video game. She decides to go outside. She's actually looking for Larry, I think. I don't know. She goes outside and she finds nothing but a bunch of piles of red dust and piles of clothes in the street and nobody around. So she's totally bugging.
Just right. Like there's clothes everywhere. I hate days that start like this.
You hate days that start with piles of red dust and clothes in the street? I can't say my days ever started that way, but all right. Sure. Sweet Reg doesn't have much time to think about her subpar morning because she gets jumped by the same zombie that just got her boy Larry over there.
What is this, trick or treat?
Not what I would have chosen to say if I saw one of the undead, but okay, girl, sure. Luckily, Reg is a total badass and fucks up that zombie, and then she jumps on Larry's motorcycle and jets away to go home and find her sister. Girl power! Equalization of the sexes. Isn't that what they say in Spice World or whatever? I should probably start doing this other brow. Brows are just, me and brows, we have a history. It's a complicated past. Hasn't always been the most healthy relationship. Sometimes it's been very codependent. They're needy. Like they're like texting me at 3 a.m. like telling me they love me, but then I see them in public the next day and my brows are like, I don't know you. You know, it's just not always the most healthy entanglement. Okay, I am back. So Reggie gets home to find Sam still alive as well, because remember she spent the night in that steel like backyard shed or whatever, and Sam has no idea what's going on. You know, predictably she's a ditzy blonde cheerleader.
Hey! Back off! The sweater cost $80.
Stereotypes. Luckily for Sam, her brunette, big brain, bodacious babe of a sister has put things together for her and kind of lets her in on the secret of what's going on because she's already figured it out, I guess.
Here's Doris. This is all that's left of her, this and dust. Look.
Here's Chuck.
I'm just gonna say right now too, as we're talking about the whole like red dust thing, the look I'm gonna do today, I'm gonna do like a really bright, like it's inspired by the red dust. I'm gonna do a lot of red. I don't think I've done red yet on the channel. Actually, no, I haven't done red yet on the channel, so we're gonna try it today. The girls are kind of freaking out at their house, right? Because, you know, they are presumably the only survivors in the world right now after the night of the Comet. And they have their stereo on and they hear the radio announcer talking on the stereo and he's kind of making it sound like, oh, I'm here in the studio, like it's like a current situation. So they decide they're gonna go down to the radio station to see if he's another survivor with them so that they can find, you know, someone else to, just to see so that if they can find someone else that is alive. Sorry, that was, I don't know why I worded it so poorly. Probably because I was trying to focus on putting this primer on my eyes. They get down to the radio station and they find out that all of the segments are pre-recorded. The guy's not there. And they do find another survivor there though. It's not the radio station announcer. He probably did. But they find another survivor. It's this guy, Hector.
My name's Hector.
Apparently Hector is alive because he's a truck driver. He's a semi-truck driver and he spent the night in his truck. So I guess he's alive from that. I feel like there's plot holes in this story, right? How they're surviving, but I don't know. I could be totally wrong. What do I know? Oh my God, that is red. Woo! That is red and it is patchy. It is very, very patchy. We're gonna just calm down a little bit here. This is again gonna look crazy till the end and then it'll all work itself out. Don't worry. So Hector and Reggie kind of start squabbling and while they're kind of focusing on their own little issues, Sam goes on the radio because they're, you know, at the radio station still. She goes on the radio, she's kind of like playing with the dials like, oh, I'm the DJ now.
Drinking age is now 10, but you will need ID, let's be real. I'll be taking requests from all you teenage Comet zombies.
She's live. And we find out that there's some scientists that are in a bunker somewhere that are tuned in on the radio listening to her, that they can hear her. They're survivors as well, apparently. They contact the station and basically say that they're They're telling the girls to be careful, or they're telling Sam to be careful. Reggie's busy fucking talking to Hector over here, just like squabbling with him like an old married couple already. So we also find out that Reggie is basically like the precursor to Nancy Wheeler and knows exactly how to take care of these zombies.
Come on, Hector. MAC-10 submachine gun was practically designed for housewives.
And then Sam gets that call at the station, and essentially what's happening with the scientists is they are on the hunt for survivors for some reason. They want to find other survivors from this event, which seems a little suspicious to me. We'll come back to that later. I'm also kind of dumb because they explain the whole red dust thing here. Honestly, my bad for earlier. I wasn't listening. What happens with the red dust is apparently the zombies are going to turn into red dust eventually. It's a slower process. They're decomposing. And the reason for that is that I guess they were partially exposed to the comet, whatever that means. I don't know if that means they were like next to a window or something. I don't know. They were only partially exposed to the comet, so they didn't get the full like blast of its effects. I guess the people that were like outside like looking up at the sky, they got just straight up fucking beamed in the face by the comet, literally, and they got turned into the red dust. So the zombies are on their way there. They just had to make a few stops before on their way home. They're gonna turn into red dust, don't worry. So that's why the scientists want to make sure that anyone who was affected, like anyone who's a zombie or whatever, is euthanized. They want to euthanize any like survivors that are partially exposed that are turning into zombies. They want to kill them, essentially, I guess. Also, when they were talking about this, they mentioned something about how the red dust is actually calcium dust, like from the bones. But this confused me even more because, like, okay, I know earlier I said that I don't know that much about, like, fucking the elemental, like, the periodic elements and shit. Bone dust isn't red, is it? I mean, this is a weird little, like, departure, but I've seen like bone dust. I know that sounds that sounds weird, but I've seen it and it's white. Like ashes are white. They're not red. So this confuses me even more as to why it's red. I don't know, maybe they just wanted to be like fun and funky and different and creative. I don't know. This confused me even further about the whole redness thing. This is unrelated to everything too, but look at how 80s this bathroom is. It's incredible. It looks like Barbie's dream house bathroom. I love it. Despite all the zombies and everything, you know, going on, all the fucked up shit that's happening, the world essentially ending, Hector and Reggie start kind of putting the moves on each other. This happened very quickly. Just all of a sudden they were like bonding and just hanging out, the two of them, and Sam was just kind of by herself, like in the other room from them. They start kind of indicating that they're feeling some type of way about each other. He says he would want to take her to dinner, which, like, who's gonna make the dinner, you know? Everybody's gone, but okay. I don't think Gordon Ramsay was just like hanging out in the back room, like waiting to make these survivors dinner. Like, I think he's probably gone. Anyway, we get a little insight that it kind of is implied that they're feeling each other, but unfortunately for Reg over here, Hector also wants to split, just like Larry. She just can't seem to keep him around, you know? He wants to split for better reasons, though. He wants to go find his family and see if they've survived, because he isn't sure. He's kind of like, I don't know, I just want to make sure that my family is or isn't dead, which I get, but like, dude, he kind of already knows. Like, I mean, look around, man. All they are is dust in the wind. Sam over here is not really happy about this whole little love connection, which I totally get, because third wheeling is like the worst. My heart went out to her for sure. She was kind of like, ugh, whatever. Like, she's the younger sibling and her older sister has the, you know, most incredible hair we've ever seen. So she's got to be pulling in guys left and right.
Right, Reg, why should I be weirded out? My sister, who swiped every guy I ever had my eye on, has now swiped the last guy in the whole freaked out world.
So I get the jealousy there. They're very competitive. Like, you know, siblings. They're just competitive. It's normal. Especially sisters. I feel like that's very normal. Sorry, I'm just trying to, like, get this blend right. Really round it. Kind of. I don't know. Sure. I like the red. I'm feeling it. Hector gets home and his family is gone. But don't worry. He's not alone. There's a child zombie at the door. He knocks on the door. He's like, hi, I want to eat your skin. And Hector has the same response that I would have had to a child. That's how I feel too, Hector.
Lucky for you, I like kids.
Just kidding. That is not how I feel. So while Hector's getting chased around by that little gremlin, the girls decide to like totally go to the mall. And we also get an incredible 80s like fashion montage where they're like dancing around, but it's to a very unfortunate cover of Girls Just Want to Have Fun. I'm guessing that getting the OG version was not in the budget, which I understand. I didn't like this cover. I was excited when I heard the music. I was like, oh, hell yeah, like Cyndi Lauper, okay. I was like, you know, I was getting, I was feeling it. And then I heard the cover, like whoever covered it, and I was like, oh, okay. Not that they're like a bad singer or anything. I just, when I hear Girls Just Want to Have Fun, like Girls Just Want to Have Fun, so like fund it. You have the funds for the original in the movie. Oh yeah, it's all coming together. So yeah, look at that. Oh, that's fun. I don't know how it's gonna read on camera. It's kind of like a duochrome. I really don't think you can even see it on camera, which is such a fucking bummer, man. But that's why I laid down this red base so that you could kind of see the duochrome, but I don't know if it's gonna happen. I loved the idea that even during the end of the world, Californian teenagers would have to go to the mall. They're like, okay, but wait a minute, let's go to the mall. Again, it was stereotypical, yes, but it was also, there was a fun element to it. I thought it was cute. It's kind of like if they ran the world, what would they do? They would run to the mall immediately and like steal a bunch of clothes and makeup. I thought it was really cute. Plus, obviously, you know, they gotta go to the mall. Reg over here is probably out of Aquanut. Gotta maintain that beautiful, beautiful mane of hair. It's important. Unfortunately, our gals are not alone in the mall. I know that I keep saying like, oh, they're the only ones around, but obviously that's not the case. There's some survivors, and we do have some survivors at the mall. They are a team of zombie stock boys. Yes, that is right. That is correct. Zombie stock boys. They're like a little group, and they're trying to either like kill the girls or take them hostage. I don't know. It's not really super clear. It's kind of like, it was just this silly little point in the movie that really didn't matter. Both of the girls are badasses. Like, obviously we've already talked about Reggie, but Sam too, even though she's kind of like the ditzy blonde cheerleader, she's also kind of a badass.
Hey! Eat glass, creep!
Truly, at first the sisters were doing it for themselves. They really were. They were taking care of themselves. They were kind of like throwing stuff back at the guys. Reggie's like shooting at him with a gun. I don't know what kind of gun. I don't know the types of gun. They were fighting back, and then they do get caught, unfortunately. Well, actually, Sam gets caught by our little group of zombie boys, and head honcho zombie over here makes a very interesting point.
I'm not crazy, I just don't give a fuck.
They're kind of holding her hostage, and Reg decides to give herself up because, you know, that's her sister. She's not going to risk her life. The girls are being held captive, and it seems that the scientists that are tracking them down have also run out of Aquanut because now they're headed to the mall. I think they just kind of, they barely even mention it, but they said something like, oh, where do we think that young teenage girls would be if the world ended? The mall. Okay, sure. So the scientists get to the mall and they save the girls, or so it would seem. Basically what is going on with the whole scientist plot is they're tracking down survivors, like I mentioned before, but it isn't for heroic purposes exactly. I wouldn't say, no. The scientists have decided they're tracking the people down to run tests on the survivors and then euthanize any survivors that they think are going to turn into zombies that have been like affected. The scientists, it's already being implied that something funky and fishy is going on there. This one scientist dude over here has decided that Sam must be turning into a zombie because she keeps like itching her neck. She's getting like a rash. So he's like, oh, she's definitely affected. Apparently Bill Nye over here has never heard of eczema because Sam gets rashes when she's stressed, which she said earlier in the movie, and she says again here, oh, it's just because I'm stressed out. The fucking world's ending. Maybe cut her a break, man. Find her some like hydrocortisone or something with like oat extract in it to help calm down that eczema, because that's what the real problem is, okay? I get eczema if you can't tell. So anyway, we got Dr. Audrey over here, who is not too keen on the other scientists' plan. You can tell that she's kind of the odd man out. She's also the only woman. Of course, they're not going to listen to her, right? It's 1984, and does the year even matter? I don't know. She is basically against everybody else's plan, but she's just like, okay, whatever the majority wants to do, like whatever. She's kind of over it. and she decides she is going to sabotage their plan. So she tells the other guys, like she tells little Bill Nye over here, hey, I'm going to stay behind and I'll euthanize Sam. Because remember, they think that she's been compromised because she keeps like itching her neck or whatever. She's like, I'll stay behind and deal with her, and you guys can like go back to our little scientist base out in the desert, because they have like this little bunker out in the desert. Bill Nye over here, I hate calling him Bill Nye because he's not as cool as Bill Nye, obviously. This guy over here, he's decided, oh, I'll stay back with you. So she's like, okay, do whatever you want. Audrey tells Sam, we're gonna stay behind and wait for Hector, because remember, Hector's gonna come back. He told, I don't know if I mentioned that, but he told Reg, I'll come back for you and I'll take you out to dinner. Okay, sure. So he's gonna come back after checking to see if his family's alive. Sam is stoked that she gets to stay behind and that Reggie is going back to the base with the other scientists. They're separating them. And the reason they're doing this is because they want to euthanize Sam, but for some reason they need Reggie. They want to run tests on her for something. But that's not what they tell the girls, obviously. They tell the girls that they're just gonna have a couple of the doctors and Sam stay behind and wait for Hector, and Reggie is gonna go on to the base. I don't know what they tell Reggie that she's gonna do, but sure. Sam's just happy about this because remember, they're really competitive and she wants to be the one waiting there for Hector, because it's not that she even really likes Hector, but she's like, I mean, he's like the last guy on Earth and I don't want to have to be alone my whole life, essentially. That's why she's stoked to stay behind. They stay behind and Audrey gives Sam this shot and, you know, her eyes close and you think, God, deader than a doornail, right? We all thought it. Actually, no, she did not kill Sam. She just gave her a sedative to knock her out. Sedative, it's the end of the world. Like, I'll have what she's having. She did not kill Sam. She knocked her out with a sedative. And then Audrey shoots evil doctor scientist guy over here. She basically has like gone rogue and decided, no, I'm not going to kill this teenager. I'm just going to kill this asshole scientist that I don't like, that I don't enjoy working with. I really like this contour. It's very cool toned. It's hard to find cool toned contour. Do you know what I'm saying? Do you know what I mean? Why do I sound like a small Victorian child? Do you know what I'm saying? Do you have any bread? I've got about 4 pence. I need to stop. I need to start talking about the movie again. The evil scientist guy, one of the evil scientist guys, spoiler alert, is dead, and Audrey decides she's gonna hightail it back to the radio station to wait for Hector, because somehow she finds the radio station and she decides to wait for Hector. She's like sitting in the dark with her sunglasses on because she wears her sunglasses at night. The sunglasses at night thing is a fun little joke for me because I remember my dad singing that song to me once because I was wearing my sunglasses at night because I was at a pool party and all my makeup had washed off of my face, and I'm a vain creature and I didn't want to walk around with my eyeliner running all over my face, so I just put on my sunglasses. So yeah, not relevant in any way, but I had to mention it. So Audrey's sitting in like the shadows. She's got like her sunglasses on. She's just sitting there with her sunglasses on, which I thought was fucking weird because like, why are you wearing those indoors, girl? She's sitting in the station and Hector shows up in like a Santa Claus outfit for some reason. I don't know. I guess this movie takes place around Christmas time, so I actually timed this drop pretty well. Hector shows up in like this like Santa outfit, and then he does not find the sisters that he's looking for. He finds Audrey, who tells him exactly what's going on. She gives him the lowdown. Our little scientist friends here apparently aren't that fucking smart because they knew that something was going to happen with this comet coming. They knew that like something like this was going to happen. They kind of saw it coming, which is why they had that little like end of days bunker built out in the desert for themselves. What they didn't think about was protecting themselves, essentially. You know, they thought, oh, we're in the bunker, we're going to be fine. Well, I guess they left the ventilating ducts open. They've been exposed just like the other like zombies have. They just got a little less exposure than the other zombies that were partially exposed. I know that this is kind of like, okay, what? This seems, you know, whatever. Just go with me here. So they got exposed a little bit less, so they're slowly turning into zombies. It's just taking a little bit longer. They're slowly turning into zombies, but it's starting to progress, is what Dr. Audrey over here is saying. She's letting him know that it has been progressing slowly, but now it's starting to progress quicker and quicker, more rapidly. So this is why they're hunting the survivors. They want to hunt down the survivors who haven't been affected so that they can harvest their blood and create a cure from that. because I guess they have decided that they deserve the cure and that they want to repopulate the earth on their own and that they are more worthy of survival than the actual people who weren't affected. Because, you know, everybody wants to rule the world. How are you liking these 80s song names they just keep throwing in there? Are you picking up on that? Just a little fun. We like to have fun here. I need to get my blush going. This tiny little mini tiny blush. Tiny little mini blush from Vanessa Myrick. I love her blushes. I got a set that had, it was last year during holiday, 2 full sizes and 2 little baby ones. And I don't really wear red blush because like I don't really. I know I did in my last video, but I usually don't. But this one is like a really bold crimson red. It comes in handy actually more often than you'd think. I think red blush is like, people are like, oh no, don't do that, girl. But I know it looks crazy and bright right now, and it still will be bright, but it'll look a little less crazy, I promise. That's nice. That looks real nice. Pretty. Audrey basically takes herself out. She has a little death potion. I can't think of what it's called. She euthanizes herself because she knows she's turning into a zombie. That's why she's wearing the glasses, by the way. Their eyes start to get all like sunken and shit. She knows what's coming because she's smart and she's figured it out. She wrote it all down in a little notebook and she gives it to Hector. She's like, here you go. Here's all my notes about science. Take them with you and peace out, basically. You know, I can't say I blame her. I would have done the same thing, honestly, between becoming a zombie and death. I'll take death. Thank you. I don't want to be on The Walking Dead. Is that show even on anymore? I never watched it. Everybody and their mom was like, this is like the best show that ever existed since the beginning of time. And when people do that, it makes me not want to watch the shit. And I'm not trying to be like a hipster or be like, I'm too cool or anything. No, I get sick of hearing about the same shit. Breaking Bad, never saw it. I know that's jail. I have no desire to see it. I'm sorry. I just don't think it's for me. I think that I like mostly garbage. Honestly, I'm basically Oscar the Grouch. Isn't he the one that lives in the trash and he's like, I love trash? That's me. I feel at home with the garbage, like a possum or a raccoon. I gotta stop. I gotta keep going. Gotta keep on keeping on. It was kind of a bummer about her last words though.
Santa Claus.
Those are your last words? Okay. So back at the base, Reggie is getting questioned by the Sir Dipshit over here. I don't exactly agree with what they're doing, but I do think that Science Lady over here has an excellent point.
Hope she's just as healthy as she looks. Boy, did you see her hair? What I'd give to have hair like that.
See, I've been telling you. Reggie's hair, incredible. Reggie also starts telling Dr. Dipshit about her birth chart, so that's really fun.
You're a very strong-willed young lady.
Cancer.
You have cancer?
No, I am a Cancer.
I love that for you, girl. Yeah, like, please tell us your birth chart. I would have guessed Sagittarius, to be honest with you. That's fun. Oh, Clover, are you coming out to say hi? Can I pick you up? We have a friend. We have a large girl. Oh my gosh. Oh, have you ever seen such a beautiful creature? Kind of smells like her litter box. That's okay. Oh, she wants down. Oh, maybe not. She's sitting on my lap. This is unprecedented. Usually she wants down. She's just chilling on my lap. What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? Clover, do you want to be a girl on film? Oh, it's a cookie. So I gotta keep going with this. She's sharing, you know, her birth chart and everything. She's like, actually, I have crystals on my bag. You want me to do a tarot reading for you? Just kidding. She does not do that, but she is getting kind of sassy because she's sus of why she's there. Reggie's pretty smart. Obviously, we've already established that she's like really headstrong and brave and badass and cool. And she's also very, very intelligent. She's like, what the hell am I doing here? Why have I been separated? Where's my sister? I thought she was like coming right after. This scientist over here who has no bedside manner just drops a fucking bomb on her.
Your sister's dead.
Jesus, dude. Fucking brutal. Just want to get this highlighter on here. If you have a cream highlighter and it's a stick format, like this is the Glossier Futuredew. the solid version. I use the liquid version as a primer. I actually used it today. The best thing you can do, rather than just drawing it right on the face, take a little highlighter brush. You can use a fan. I don't like fan brushes personally. I think they're dumb. I like these little guys. Just grab the product and then bounce it on your skin. Look at how like glowy and dewy my skin looks without it lifting my makeup. Because trust, there's a lot of makeup under there. If you just go straight in, it's gonna fuck up your makeup. Like it's gonna lift it and crease it and shit, unless you're like a 12-year-old girl, and I am not a 12-year-old girl. I don't know if you can tell. So yeah, just bounce it on your skin like that. Gives you the most beautiful glow. People always ask about my skin. Maybe she's born with it. Maybe it's extremely full coverage foundation and other products all the time. Yeah, I think the second one. I like it, I like it, I like it. I'm gonna layer another highlighter on top of this too. I wanna be as glowy as a porcelain doll. I want to give that. I want to give glass skin, as the children say. Predictably, because, you know, as we've much established at this point, Reg is badass. She escapes from the compound. She gets out and she kind of is like uncovering what's going on there. She finds some people who they've essentially been rendered brain dead because the scientists have, I don't know what they, like if they've infected them or something, injected them with something or what, but they're just harvesting their blood so that they can use it to create a serum. They're just keeping them on life support so that they can continue like making clean, untainted blood that the scientists can take for themselves. It's actually kind of fucked up. It's really fucked up and gross. Made all the more grosser when you see that the scientists have found 2 more survivors and their kids. It's a little boy and a little girl. And they're basically gonna do the same thing with them. They're gonna keep them alive on life support just so they can take their blood. Fucking gross, honestly. Gross people in positions of power. It's fucked up. And at about the same time, Hector and Sam arrive at the little scientist's underground bunker. It's not really clear how they knew where to go. I think scientist broad over here, what was her name? Audrey, she like left it in her notes maybe. She left clear instructions that were written out. I don't know. Maybe they had like a map. It is 1984, you know. They probably just had one of those big fold out maps. So they show up at the compound and they're here to fuck shit up. And Reggie, meanwhile, back inside the compound, she gets caught but then escapes again. And she finds those little kiddos that I just mentioned. She is basically like, you guys are fucked up, man. Like, don't hurt these kids. She takes the kids with her. She decides, I'm going to be his mother now. Just as she is uncovering this whole thing with the kids and she finds these 2 scientists in the room with the kids and she like takes them away from the scientists, Sam and Reggie reunite. So she's super stoked to see her sister because she thought she was dead.
Dick. Hey! Holy shit! Whoa. Sam? I give.
Because Dr. Dipshit over there, remember? He was like, yeah, your sister's dead. Like, thanks, bro. Thanks for that, you know? Sam and Reggie reunite and they bust out of that bunker with their new little buckaroos in tow. They're like, we're taking these kids with us. Apparently, I don't know why, but sure, I guess, yeah, I get it. They're trying to save them. Sorry, I just gotta real quick. Do you mind? So they bust out and they meet up with Hector, who for some reason is now wearing like a cowboy hat and like he's listening to country music. He's changing it up. He's mixing it up. He likes to have a good time. They meet up with Hector and he drives them away, but not before saying a final goodbye to their friends, the scientists. And it's wholesome.
Okay, kids, cover your eyes for Uncle Hector.
Hey! Think tank, huh?
Leave.
Think over this!
Honestly, I'm not mad at it. I think they deserve that. And also they deserve their car getting blown up.
Wait, don't!
Which is also what Hector does too. I don't know if you like put something like in the tailpipe, I think, or whatever. I don't know. I don't know much about arson, which is probably a good thing. So a little while later, they don't really tell you how much time passes. We get a cleansing rain that washes away all the red in the sky and washes away all the piles of the red dust and all the clothes. They all kind of go down the drain. Everybody's gone. And we get a lovely little scene of Reggie and Hector. They're hanging out with the kids. Reggie's like taking photos of them and stuff with an old Polaroid, well, not old at the time, but a Polaroid. And for some reason, like, I guess they're like playing house and they're the mom and dad to the 2 kids that they rescued, Reggie and Hector. They're like together and they're like, oh, we're a family unit. Like, just the four of us, a very classic American family, but it's like, okay, so she's a child bride? Like, how old is she? I think they say she's 18 in the movie, but like, I don't think anyone should get married at 18. If I would have gotten married at 18, my life would have been ruined. See, that just looks a little better. I like that. So anyway, they're together. They're like a little family unit. I guess he's been waiting for a girl like her to come into his life. Did you think I was really gonna be done with the 80s songs? I gotcha. No, I wasn't. Of course not. I got plenty more of these in the canon, okay? Plenty more where that came from. Sam's feeling left out, understandably so.
Maybe I could be a nun or something.
I guess they've decided that they're rebuilding civilization or something. So as Sam is making her way over to the new little family unit, she's like crossing the street, a car swoops around the corner and almost hits her, and I thought, holy shit, are they gonna kill her in the last like scene or whatever? But no, they don't. The car belongs to a guy named Danny Mason Keener. He introduces himself, he's a guy around Sam's age, so you know, kind of implied like, oh, okay, now there's somebody for her too. I was happy for her about this, you know. I was like, good, like she doesn't have to third wheel for the rest of her life. I was happy for her in this moment. Sam jumps into the car and he says, you want to go for a ride? She says yes, and they drive away, and the last shot of the movie is the initials on the license plate of Danny Mason Keener, DMK. Remember from earlier, the game? Donkey Michael Kong in the flesh. His real name is Danny Mason Keener. So cute, right? We love that that came back. We love that we found out who this guy was that is like Reg's mortal enemy or something. And that is the end of the film. I gotta say, I think I have found another hidden horror gem. Was it scary? No, not at all. Like, not even a little bit. But did I love it? Absolutely. I thought it was super fun. Finally, some protagonists that we can root for. You know what I mean? Not a lot, but I guess a good handful of the protagonists in these like 80s B-horrors are whiny or annoying or not likable or don't have a personality. Not all. We all know how I feel about Jamie Lee Curtis, okay? I loved Reggie's character and I loved Sam's character, even though she was like the ditzy blonde Californian. I still loved her. I loved both of them. I thought they were awesome characters. They were brave, they were funny, they were beautiful, they were strong. I really liked that. I just like the idea of two like badass sisters from the valley fighting zombies and competing for the affections of the same man because he's the last man on earth, not because he's anything special. No shade to Hector, like he's fine, whatever. But I think Sam at one point is even like, he's not that much to look at, but he's the only man in the world. So like, I like that idea. I think it's really fun. There was a great soundtrack too. I really didn't mention that much, but there's music playing in almost every scene of this movie. Also, really quick, this is Juice by Commodity. It's just a little travel size. Let's see if I can put it on and not talk immediately after and eat the fragrance. Let's see. We did it. No fragrance in my mouth. Oh, this is a momentous occasion. It's very, very rare that I don't immediately start talking as I'm spraying fragrance and eat it and choke. We're catching candid moments on camera today. Yeah, there was a great, like a killer soundtrack. Every single scene of this movie, I feel like, had a song playing. They were all really good, very 80s. I wasn't a huge fan of the cover. We already went over that, but can't all be winners. I could have used more relationship devel between Reggie and Hector. I thought it was weird that all of a sudden it's just like, oh yeah, they're parents now. Like, what? They didn't even like get to enjoy each other's company, and then now they have two kids, two brats to lug along. That sounds fucking terrible. Nightmare situation in my book, but whatever. That could have used a little bit of work. I did think there were a few plot holes with the whole thing with the comet, and like some of them are zombies, some of them aren't. It was a little confusing. I had to look things up and read into it. You also have to really be paying attention to kind of pick up on things like that, I feel like. I watched it twice, so I figured it out. But also, the internet is a wonderful tool, and so is Reddit. I figured it out, but I do think there were some holes with that. Do I really believe the whole, like, they weren't affected at all thing? It's a little far-fetched, I would say. I still really liked it. I could have used more of an explanation with the red dust thing, and I could have used more relationship development between Reggie and Hector, because it was just like, they're talking for a second, and then boom, we're together. But hey, that's the power of love. Got another one in there. In all seriousness, Night of the Comet is 80s B horror movie gold. Actually, I should probably say 80s B sci-fi comedy horror, because the horror could have been bumped up a notch in my book, but it's just my opinion. If you're a fan of evil scientists, incredible hair, a really good soundtrack, and a very confusing zombie slash dust slash apocalyptic slash conspiracy type of plot, you might like this movie. It's gonna get 4 pumpkins on the scale from me. I knocked it down a smidge for the lack of character development and the little bit of plot holes and, you know, the child bride of it all. Yeah, I still love this one, and if you are somebody who enjoys movies with tons of 80s feel to it, 80s nostalgia, if you will, you're gonna love it too. Give it a chance. Check out Night of the Comet. I believe it's on Tubi. I also read like a rumor that the Adventures of, what is it? Buffy the Vampire Slayer, that was like based on this. The character of Buffy Summers, who was played by Sarah Michelle Gellar, was based on Regina, I think it was. I don't know. I thought that was super, super interesting because I had never even heard of this movie. But she's a forgotten gem and she deserves more recognition. So go check out Night of the Comet. Let me know what you think of this movie, this review, my channel, this makeup. How do we feel about it? She's very inspired by the piles of human matter on the ground. So we just went with the whole red thing. I don't know. I feel like maybe it just needs a little bit more of this. This is the Solstice shade, the Moondust glitter from Urban Decay. I don't know if you can even like, ooh. Can you see it? It's got like a duochrome to it. It's a red base and then it has green in it. Like a green micro glitter. I don't even think you can see that on screen. I put it like all over my eyes. I don't know how much it's picking up, if at all. I sure tried my best, but I think it mostly just looks red. Hey, whatever. Let me know how you feel about Night of the Comet, my channel, this video, all that good stuff. Leave me a comment. Subscribe to my channel to see more content like this, and maybe share this video with your friends. Let me know what you think, and until next time, I am Pale Kale. Thank you for watching Beauty and Bee Movies with me. See you next time. Was this like jazz hands? See you next time. Hey man, I just work here, I don't know.